Hi guys, welcome back to Journey Teachers. So today we have Saurabh sir with us. Sir, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I am Saurav and I am an assistant professor in the Department of Media Studies, Christ University Central Campus.
It's so great to have you here, and thank you so much for agreeing for the interview. So let's start with a brief about your journey, being both a student and now a faculty at Christ.
Thank you so much, Kriti, for this wonderful question. And I think I have a lot of good memories here as a student, and I could still remember those times which I spent in the classroom, attending the lectures of my professors, and then the other extracurricular activities like community development work or visiting the newspaper organization to get an idea about how the print industry works. So as a student, I had a mix and match of classroom lectures in terms of understanding different theories, understanding different philosophical aspect of a particular event or a phenomenon, and then simultaneously to back by those theoretical concepts and those philosophical discussions, we had good amount of field work as well. And I always used to look forward to both the aspects because as an individual, if one has to grow, I think there should be an emphasis in both the aspects where you learn not only from the theoretical background and philosophical one, which is definitely very important, but also to get a larger worldview about how different communities are performing, how different individuals in a particular societal setup, they are accordingly working toward it. So yeah, that is how my life in Christ was as a student, and which was very enriching. At times it was a bit hectic because, as you must be knowing, as an undergrad student right now, you may have multiple submissions, because those hectic timeline also makes you a better person, because you focus on time management skills, you focus on priority part, like on which work to prioritize over the another. So a lot of learnings also happens in a maybe difficult timeline. So yeah, this is how I would like to throw upon the kind of experience I gathered as a student at Christ. So thank you.
That's really wonderful. And so, what exactly made you to come back at Christ? And what was better, being a student or now being a faculty?
It should not be a fair comparison of student life in Christ and vis-a-vis faculty members' life or faculty's life here at Christ. I would say that every identity is quite unique in nature, whether the identity of it's a student or of a faculty, because there are newer characteristics which you can discover in that particular job role as a student or as a faculty. I really am glad that I am back to my alma mater. Like for me, it's like it comes to full circle, and I'm very happy that I'm able to spend a lot of time with the Christites, and most importantly, as I always tell my students, like learning is always more than one dimension. Like it's not only the teacher imparts knowledge or the teacher imparts certain discourses on a particular issue or a particular event, but equally the teacher also learns a lot from the perspective of the students, like how the students are building their ideas, how they are understanding about a certain phenomenon or a certain societal issue. So the learning is always mutual, and which is I'm very grateful, especially in a space like Christ Central Campus. The students are quite engaged with their scholarship. They know their scholarship very well, and they are very well read, and also along with being very well read, they are also aware about their limitations, and they are also aware about their positive side of their skills, like their advantages which they may have as a unique identity. So I think these are the areas which I now can maneuver as a faculty member. So I get to see maybe almost 60 students perspective in one particular presentation or in a particular discussion, right, which is very unique in nature. So I think that is where the difference I may like to make, because as a student you are mostly looking into the kind of work you have to finish within a specific timeline, and sometimes as you are working as a team, then you get to hear maybe your team members' perspectives, but it's also very limited. But as a faculty, that horizon gets expanded, because now you are not dealing with only one or two students or only one group of students, but with the larger population of the students. So that is a huge step in a professor's life, which helps the person to also grow in life. Like I have been able to grow a lot in my teaching life because of the kind of learnings I have done from my students. So yeah, that's a very good question. Thank you.
Right, definitely, and I'm so glad to hear that, because you are able to kind of interlink, your experiences as a student and now as a faculty.
Yes.
And there's a lot of different kind of learnings and opportunities available at each and every level at CHRISE. So, sir, you are a photographer as well. So, and we can see you teach that subject and you have a passion for it. You have your own page as well. So, would you like to give some insights to our viewers on how to pursue their passion for photography and some insights into it as a career?
So I think the first and foremost thing is, if you are passionate about any art, be it photography or be it painting or be it theater, you should never stop yourself. Like there would be a lot of limitations, like people would say don't do this, or people will always have certain reservations against what you are doing in your life, right? Maybe at certain point of time people will say it's economically not viable, maybe it's not viable for a larger prospect about when one is making their career. Don't listen to those thoughts which may are mostly demeaning in nature, or maybe mostly will bring down your morale. Rather be very honest to your art. Being honest to one's art is very important, irrespective of which art you are practicing. So I think that is the first learning one should be reflective about in their heads, right? Like how much I'm honest about my art. And the second thing is, don't depend too much on this technology part, because in today's context I have seen people usually have a very skewed idea about photography. They think that only if they can maneuver those gadgets which are very expensive in nature, or which are highly costly when it comes to comparing other gadgets, then only the good work of art will come. It's not like that. It's all about the conceptualization of your art in your head which you are doing, and for that you need to see a lot of other photographs. Like as it is being said, like especially if you want to become a filmmaker or if you want to become a cinematographer, in your life you have to at least see 10,000 films, and not only films in the regional film context in India, but European films being produced in Australia, films produced in Middle East, films made in different other parts of the globe. So that will make you a very thoughtful individual about your own art. So similarly, same discourse goes for photographs also. So see the seminal work which exists in photojournalism, in conceptual photography, in street photography, and the more you see these photographs, you will also be able to build upon the concepts which will be very helpful for you. And it's not very important that you need to have a very sound knowledge about the technicalities. Like you can learn the technique of making a photograph or making a good photograph always later, but what is important, the basic knowledge which will always come. We are seeing more photographs, we are more exploring photographs on a day-to-day basis. So this is the initial feedback or initial comment I would have for all the photography enthusiasts who are planning to maybe take up this course in our department.
Definitely, and thank you so much for making them realize the importance of considering an art form in its pure form, rather than going behind the kind of advancements and looking forward to just kind of be perfect in that, but just go and experiment whatever you can and just be on that. Thank you so much.